Hello everybody, my name's Chelsea. I use they them pronouns and welcome to Knit and Lit. This is a channel where I talk about all things books and fiber crafts. So if you like that, think about sticking around. Today we're going to be doing a little knit and chat while talking about my 2024 winter knitting plans. So I think that's really all there is to say. Let's just get into the video, shall we? Alright, so we'll start with what I am wearing. If you watched my last video, everything I made in 2023, you will know that this took the cake for my favorite knitted piece of the year. This is the Moby sweater by Petite Knit, and it is made of Mirasol Nuno yarn in the color Elderflower. Super fun. I'm wearing this and not a sweater because it is hot in my apartment right now. Like, I have the window open, so sorry if you hear street noises, but I thought that the street noises would be better than the fan running, so I decided on opting for opening the window, but that means there might be noises coming in. But I literally can't close it because I think if I did that, I would sweat to death. So this is all I can do. I can't have anything under my arms or on my arms because I will just overheat filming this. So yeah. Let's talk about what I'm going to be knitting on for this knit and chat, and then I'll just start knitting while I intro the rest of it. This is going to be an On the Sea Train hat, the On the Sea Train hat by Espace Tricot. It is a free pattern on Ravelry, and I am using Juniper Moon 14. That's what this yarn is called. It's a merino cashmere. I believe it's a 90% merino, 10% cashmere, and it's chainette yarn, which is super fun. Yay. Let me look at what the color is really quick. Yes, the color is Aquarium. So I'm going to start knitting on this, and we'll get into kind of my winter 2024 plans. Chanel, go ahead and lay down. You're being disruptive. Thank you. Are you going to watch me film? That's very sweet. Okay. All right, so this is just 1x1 rib, so I have a feeling it's going to be easy enough for me to be able to knit and look at the camera, but I am probably going to have to look down like I'm doing right now, every couple of stitches so that I'm making sure that I'm doing the right thing and I'm on a knit or a purl when I'm supposed to be on a knit or a purl. So sorry if I'm not looking at the camera the whole time, but that is a knit and chat for you. Let's just get started. I'm going to talk about all the patterns that I'm hoping to make in winter of 2024. So basically from now until March. Got 3 months to do all this stuff, which there is a lot, so I'm a little nervous, but it's okay. It's fine. I'm going to talk about the pattern and what yarn I am going to be making it with. For these patterns, these are all on my queue on Ravelry. If you want to check my Ravelry, it's linked down below. There are the top couple of patterns on my Ravelry. I have my queue in chronological order. But I also have the yarn for all of them because I do not put things in my queue until I have yarn purchased for the object. So this is all stuff that I would theoretically be ready to cast on immediately as long as I have the needles because they're like all 4mm. So that's a little bit of a problem. So that's how I do my queue. My favorites is for projects that I want to make, but I haven't gotten the yarn yet. So then when I get yarn, I can go to my favorites and whatever. I don't need to explain my whole Ravelry process to you. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about the pattern, the yarn, and I'm going to be going in order of when I would like to cast it on. That is pretty subjective and subject to change. Like, I know I started this guide today because all three of my 4mm needles are on other projects, other whips. So I was looking through, like, the first pattern that I have here is a 4. The second and the third are also, the first 3 patterns that I have chronologically are all on 4mm needles. So I couldn't do any of those until I get those old whips off the needles. So this is a 4.5, which is why I decided to cast this on. But yeah, so they're going to be in sort of chronological order, but it's not set in stone. I'm going to be showing you the yarn, yeah, and just talk about what I'm planning to make this winter. So exciting. Okay, let's get started, shall we? I'm gonna keep forgetting to knit during this, so it's gonna be me holding a project and chat instead of a knit and chat. Let's actually get into it, shall we? Okay. So the first pattern that I am planning on knitting this winter is the Farnham sweater by the Knit Pearl Girl. Picture inserted, yay. I am well aware, you don't have to tell me twice, that the Farnham sweater was a last fall and winter sweater. I'm well aware of that. Now, I wasn't ready, and I don't know what I mean by wasn't ready, but I wasn't ready to start it last winter. I think I had a couple of other sweaters on the needles. I had a lot of whips on the needles, and I didn't have yarn for it, and I wasn't going to buy yarn for it immediately. So it took a back burner until fall. Then once fall came, I realized that the yarn that I wanted to hold for the body of the sweater, it's a DK weight sweater. The yarn that I wanted to hold was the Menos de l'Uruguay Alegre Grande. I don't know why I bought that for a DK weight pattern, because that is a worsted weight yarn. So once I realized, so basically what I mean to say is I wanted to knit that up in the fall of 2023. When I was like, okay, I'm gonna cast on my Farnham sweater. I realized that I didn't even gauge swatch. I just realized that the yarn that I bought for it was going to be insanely too big to meet gauge. So I had to troubleshoot a little bit. I moved it all the way down to the bottom of my queue, and I thought about what new yarn I wanted to buy that would actually be DK weight and fit the gauge. Once I got that new yarn, which I will show you in a minute, I moved it back up to the top because I do really want this. I think it's so cute. Like, picture again, maybe video. Who knows? Who knows what editing Chelsea will do? Just look at the stripes. I love stripes. It's such a cute sweater. The drop shoulder, the funnel neck, like it's just so adorable, and I want it in my wardrobe. So once I ordered the new yarn that would fit gauge, I immediately bumped it up to number 1 on my queue. So that is the first thing that I'm hoping to knit this winter. Let me put this project down and show you the yarn. Okay, so my main color is going to be this BC Yarn Samilla Cable Collection. It's in the color Vanilla. This is, I apparently love chainette, and I do, like that's a true thing about me. This is a chainette yarn. Hopefully you can see that. I'm gonna try to hide my eyes so you can see it. It's a 100% wool, and it is super squishy and very soft. So I'm very excited to have a little sweater made out of this as the base. And then for the stripe, I have this baby. She's beautiful. I'm gonna hold her up to the camera so you can see all the color. Oh my god. Am I right? Am I right? So this is Eco Merino DK and the color Equinox. Hold on. Maybe I have it in here. Yeah. This is the tag. Oh my god. This is Wool Studios. So yeah, Eco Merino DK and the color Equinox. It is hand dyed in New Jersey. I got it at a yarn crawl in New York this year. But fun fact, I am actually from New Jersey. So when I talked to this dyer who was in the shop doing a pop-up for the yarn crawl week, when I talked to this dyer, she was telling me a little about her story, and she said that she was from Jersey, and I was like, oh my gosh, where from? And she's from like 2 towns above where I grew up. So I did think this color was gorgeous. If you know anything about my color palette, you know it's like warm and red and orange. So this is like, are you kidding me? This is perfect. But what really sealed the deal and made me buy this was when I heard that she was like basically where I grew up in Jersey. So this is gonna be the stripes for the Farnham sweater. Very excited about this. This is a, God, I put the tag back in. Yeah, I thought so. 100% merino. So they're both, well, I don't think the Samilla is merino. It's just 100% wool. This is 100% merino wool. So that's my plans for the Farnham sweater by the Knit Pearl Girl. Let me pick up my yarn again. My project again. And we'll keep on knitting, because I would like to get some stuff done for this knit and chat. Okay, the next pattern that I want to make in winter of 2024 are the garter stitch mitts by Isolde Teague. Let's talk a little bit about where this pattern came from. Again, if you watched my Everything I Knit in 2023 video, you would know that I made a Sophie scarf last year. Picture time. Exciting. I made a Sophie scarf last year in a specific yarn that I got from Germany when I went to Europe in May of last year. I love the yarn. I will show it to you in a second again. But I made the Sophie scarf out of that yarn. I bought, I believe, 2? Yeah, maybe 3. I don't remember. I bought a certain number of balls for a totally different project of that yarn. And then I decided I really didn't want to do that project that I bought them for. So instead, it was a DK weight yarn, and I really wanted to make a Sophie scarf, and I caved, and I did it. When I finished that Sophie scarf, and this is something I also brought up in the Everything I Did in 2023 video, I wanted to make it a full set. So I wanted to do the scarf, a headband, and some fingerless mitts. So that is where this pattern comes in. The garter stitch mitts are a DK weight project. They're a free download on Ravelry, and it just seemed perfect. Since the Sophie scarf is all garter stitch, I wanted to find 2 other patterns for the mitts and the headband that were also garter stitch, so that when I wore them all together, they were cohesive. They weren't just the same color, but they were also the same texture. So I decided on these, and also I have I've knit the muscle burr hat, or I haven't knit it, I haven't finished it, but I'm knitting 2 muscle burr hats by Isolde Teague. I really like the way she writes patterns, so when I saw that the mitts were by her, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make those. Super fun. So that's the story behind the pattern. I had a hair on me, sorry. Let me pick up the yarn so I can show you. Okay, this is the Mondal Cashmerette Gold. Once again, I'm gonna hold it up so you can see it. It's got this really lovely, super soft halo, and that's because it has cashmere content. Let me look up exactly what this makeup is. Okay, so it's 70% merino wool, 20% microfiber, and 10% cashmere. And it's in the color 584, I believe. Yes, 584 is the colorway for this guy. This yarn is so incredibly soft. I loved it after using it for my Sophie scarf, which is why I just wanted to make a whole set of it. I loved it. So this guy is so squishy and so fantastic, and she's plopping down there. And I'm very excited to actually finish that set and be able to, you know, have a full set of knitwear that I can wear out, and it'll look cohesive, and then people will be like, oh my gosh, did you knit that? And I can be like, I did knit it. Thanks for asking. Because it's my favorite thing to do. Why make your own clothes if you can't brag about making your own clothes when people ask you? Duh. Let's get into the next pattern. Okay, so for pattern number 3 of 2024 winter edition, again, if you watched my last video, you'll know that I had a little bit of an obsession with petite knit, as we all do, last year, and it is not stopping. It's not even slowing down, I don't think. I have simply so many petite knit patterns on my queue that I already have yarn for, so it's not slowing down. They're just gonna keep coming. Yeah, that's the sad truth of it. But I do have a lot of other designers as well, so hopefully it's not too much petite knit. But my next pattern that I'm planning on making is the Sille Slipover by Petite Knit. Picture time. Sille Slipover. I absolutely have fallen prey to the texture fad in the past year. I think it's so fun. I feel like you don't see other than like chunky cables, you don't really see a lot of texture in store-bought sweaters or vests or anything. So I've really been loving the texture trend, and you'll see that in my next pattern as well. So yeah, I was really drawn in by the sille slipover. I saw a couple of people on knitting YouTube that have podcasts making it. So the sille slipover is a pattern that technically calls for DK weight yarn. Now it calls for pure Gint, and from what I've heard on the internet, pure Gint is maybe technically DK, but it is much actually closer to a worsted weight. So I got a worsted weight to make this pattern. And let me show you the yarn. Yay! Okay, this is Space Cadet Vega in the color Fat-Free Chocolate. This is a beautiful tonal brown. It's just like so scrumdiddlyumptious. Like, are you joking? It's a warmer toned brown, which again, if you know anything about me and my style and my color palette, warm all the way. I don't have anything in just like a solid brown. I have at this point a couple of things in white. I have my Ingrid sweater in gray, and I just wanted another neutral thing to have. So I have this little cake of yarn. I have two of these to make this sille slipover. I'm very excited. I think that it's gonna be beautiful, and yeah, that's it. Next pattern. This is the kicker, and this is the pattern that, if out of any of them, will not get done in winter. You'll see why in a second. The next pattern that I want to knit this winter is the storm sweater by Petite Knit. Picture time. The storm sweater went absolutely crazy bonkers in the fall. Everybody was knitting it. Again, similar to the farnham sweater, I just like didn't have the yarn or the time to invest in that sweater when it first came out. I was actually making my Ingrid sweater, which is the other textured petite knit sweater, when the storm sweater came out. So I was like, okay, as of right now, I've got my little textured sweater. I don't need to get a brand new one on my queue. But then I just couldn't stop thinking about it, and I eventually got yarn for it. And then I was like, well, I want to make it now because I love the yarn, and you'll see it in a second. I was like, I'm going to make it now. So it shot up to the top of my list. I have a feeling, just a gut feeling, that this is going to be one that stays on my needles for a while. But I would at least like to start it in the winter, which is why I'm including it in this silly little video. So let me show you the yarn and the cute little bag I have it in. Let's do it. All right, this bag is a little dusty because I've just had it on my floor for a little bit, but this bag is full of yarn for the storm sweater. And this is my favorite yarn store. This is this bag and this yarn is both from Cleo's. Cleo's is a yarn store in Brooklyn. That's where I live. But you know, it is run by Cleo, who is queer, and that's I just love it. There are queer like craft nights every month at the store. All of their yarn is like so colorful and pretty and awesome and soft and amazing. And they have a little shop dog. His name's Rory, and he's the cutest. I'm just gonna insert a picture of Rory because it's up on like Cleo's yarn shop social media. So I'm just gonna do it. Look at this dog. Anyway, so it makes going there a damn delight. So yeah, that's the bag that the yarn is in. Let me take out 2 balls so that you can actually see the yarn. I just wanted to plug my favorite yarn store because it's awesome. This is what I'm planning on making my storm sweater in. So I'll explain, because you may be like, Chelsea, this is not a striped pattern. It's gonna be. Fiber is flying everywhere. It's getting my nose. It's really annoying. This is Loopy Mango Dream Tweed and Loopy Mango Dream. This is in the color Flamingo, and this is in the color Mustard. They're both 100%, nope, not 100%, I'm a liar. Regular Dream is 100% merino wool. Dream Tweed is 82% merino, 12% regular, 13% regular wool, and 5% viscose, which is the little nippies, the little nippies, the little guys. Let's talk about this. So, you know what the storm store looks like. I'm going to put up another picture while I'm talking about it. In each texture section, one texture section is going to be this color, and then the next texture section is going to be this color, and then this, 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 and so on until I am done. Now, I wasn't, when I originally put this in my favorites and was looking for yarn for it, I was not expecting to make it striped. But when I went to Cleo's, they only had, I would have needed 12 balls of this to make the whole sweater, because it's huge, and positive ease, yeah. And these are only 50-gram balls. So I would have needed 12 to make the whole sweater. The shop did not have 12 of one color that I liked. They had a few quantities of 12 in blues, but that is just so not my color palette. And I really wanted to buy all of them at once so that they would be in the same dye lot. Now, when I went there, I fell in love with both of these colors and was like, oh, how am I gonna choose between the colors? But then I realized that there wasn't enough of either of them singularly to just do one. So I was talking to Cleo and chatting about possibilities and stuff. And I think it just popped into my head. I was like, oh, I can do stripes. And they were like, that's so cool. You should do stripes. So I got 6 of each color. Whoa. I got 6 of each color. And I'm going to do the stripies. It's going to be so exciting. I'm going to put that yarn away. I'm really not knitting that much. But you know what? If I get 2 or 3 rows out during this video, that will be enough for me. That'll be enough for me. All right. Let's move into, I believe, yeah, I'm correct, the final project that I'm planning and haven't started for 2024. Let's do it. The last pattern that is not currently a whip for winter 2024 is the Canela vest by Rita Marques. The Canela vest. Yay. Again, I have a theme, texture, and vests. It doesn't have a huge amount of texture like the last 2 patterns, but it does have the garter stitch eyelet little stripes going along it. Now, for this pattern, I don't think you all are ready, because I sure know that I wasn't ready. I have found, I've hit the holy grail, I've hit the jackpot, the lottery, if you will, in terms of the yarn lottery for YouTube knitters and crafters. Are you ready for what I'm planning on making this vest in? Because I don't think you're ready. I really don't think you're ready. I got my hands on Noro Madara in the colorway Sake. Time to hold up to the camera. Are you joking me? Are you literally joking me right now? This is just the most beautiful, variegated, not variegated, slightly, oh God, I can't even, it's a creamy, grayy base, and then just so many beautiful colors, almost speckled, but they're spun into the yarn. I'm sure you've seen Noro before. Just, everyone and their mother has pined after this yarn. It's always sold out everywhere or in super small quantities, and I finally got my hands on 2 skeins of this. So I was like, what can 2 skeins make? A vest. So Noro Madara is 60% wool, 30% silk, and 10% alpaca. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little itchy. I feel like all Noro yarns are just a little itchy, but I don't really care that much because it will be a vest. And it is made of wool, so it's not like I'm going to be wearing this wool and alpaca, and it's not like I'm going to be wearing this in the middle of the summer. So I'm always going to have something on underneath it So I'm not super worried about the fact that this is not like butter soft, but it's just so freaking beautiful. I'm so excited. My Neuromatara Sunday! That is my 5th plan in my queue for 2024 winter knitting. Let's get into current whips that I have that I also would love to finish in 2024 winter. Obviously, this one on the Sea Train, Espace Chico, I would like to finish. This might potentially be a gift knit for a friend. This isn't hugely my color, and I got this yarn at a yarn crawl, I think in 2022, like at the beginning of 2022, before I really understood that you have to buy more of like one ball if you want to finish any kind of garment for yourself. And I'm not a huge accessory knitter. You can probably tell that. I'm not a huge accessory knitter. So I only bought one ball of this Juniper Moon Farm 14. So I didn't know what to make for it. It's been in my stash since 2022. And I just didn't know what to make with it for the longest time. And I was going through all my stash to upload it all to Ravelry in the middle of 2023. And kind of took stock of all the single odd skeins that I have and tried to find patterns that would fit for that yarn instead of doing the opposite of like finding a pattern, falling in love with it, and then buying yarn for it. I was like reverse engineering, like, okay, I already have 100 grams of this yarn. What can I make from it? That's when I found the on the Sea Train pattern. I thought it was really cute. And it's Manhattan themed, so come on. But this yarn isn't really my color, as you can probably tell and we've discussed. But it is one of my friends' colors. And if you're my friends and you're watching this, I'm not going to tell you which one of you it might be a gift for. But it is one of my friends' like signature colors, and I feel like they're going to like it a lot. So we still haven't, it's like the middle of January, and we still haven't done our gift exchange in our friend group yet. So I'm hoping that I can finish this in like, I don't know, 2 days. Because I think we're going to do our gift exchange on Friday. It's Monday right now. If I can finish it in like 2 days, I can have it blocked and ready to give to this person at our gift exchange. So yeah, I'd love to finish this in the winter. The other large whips that I would love to finish in the winter of 2024 is some leftover projects with my advent calendar. So I got the Groovy and Bright advent calendar from Super Glow Yarn last year in December, and I just freaking love the colors. Are you kidding me? If you watched my last video, one of my favorite makes of the year was a So Faded sweater by Andrea Mowry, using all of the colors of this advent, except for the full 100 gram skein for the 25th day. She's lovely and I love her. And the colors were all just so beautiful. And I knew that I wasn't going to use the 100 gram skein because I wanted to finish the sweater to wear it for Christmas. And if I was going to do the whole like opening one every day thing, it was just going to be too late to incorporate any of that final color into the sweater. So I was thinking about what I can make with 100 grams of a main color and like 12 leftover grams of all of my contrast colors, because I only used about 8 grams depending on where it was in the sweater, which part of the sweater I was on. I only used about 8 grams for each color, so I had a really decent amount of all of the smaller colors left over. So I wanted to figure out what I could do with that. What I came across and what popped into my little brain was making a Stella quilt cushion by Laura Penrose. I'm going to put in a picture of the Stella quilt cushion. Fantastic. I've already started this. This was my New Year's Day cast on. I started it January 1st. And as of today, I finished the front. So I finished the star quilt motif. And now I just have to make the back of the pillow and the envelope closing so that I can put an insert in and it'll be good. I blocked it because it's recommended in the pattern that you make the front portion and then block it before adding on the back portion so that you know how big your thing is going to be and it's easier to pick up stitches. So I am blocking it right now, which is why I'm not going to be able to show it to you because it is a little damp and it's laying out. But I will insert a picture of it on the blocking mats. It is stunning. It's stunning. Are you kidding me? Like, actually, are you joking? I'm so in love with it. It is made for either DK or Aran weight. I did the DK weight version and held my fingering weight mini skeins double for it. I'm not going to get too much into it because it's going to be like in a next podcast video, whatever. But I sort of ran out of yarn because it is off gauge. So I had to finesse how much yarn I'd be using to actually finish it. But yeah, that is my Stella quilt cushion progress so far. I'm very excited to be like almost done with that, hopefully. We'll see. Yeah, that is my second whip that I currently have on the needles that I'm hoping to finish in the winter. And then my third whip is using the same yarn, using some more leftovers from that advent calendar. It's the Whiskey in a Teacup shawl. I don't know the pattern designer, and I just simply don't want to look it up right now, so I'm gonna put it down right here, just right here, you know? But this is the Whiskey in a Teacup shawl, and it's the same deal. I only used 12 mini skein colors for the pillow, so the rest of the 12 are going into that shawl instead of being in the pillow. So yeah, that's it. That's all I had to say for that specifically. So yeah. All right, so I think that's all I wanted to talk about today. I just weighed, what's wrong with me? I just measured this little project that I've been working on. I started at around 2 inches and now I'm at around 4. So I got about 2 inches done in the 45-ish minutes, a little bit less than that I've been talking to y'all. So honestly, pretty proud of that. Like, sure, this is like worsted Aran yarn and it's a small circumference because it's a hat, but like 2 inches is not nothing. So that's fun. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, it's super fun. And if you've gotten this far, leave a comment on what you're most looking forward to knit in the winter this year. All right, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll see y'all later. Thanks. Bye-bye.